So should we give up on this fight against corruption?
We will not give up, but what I say is that it should be an articulate administrative setting of corruption. If I am in public office, I have a monthly and annual returns. Look at this issue. There is corruption all over the world. But for Christ's sake, what we are doing in Nigeria, we are just more or less crying about. It's African magic. We are brought into public office. So who have accounted for the money he has? At a point in time, the National Assembly invited the last petroleum minister, the Zian, over 10 billion on what? On hiring of aircraft. Now, who gave the AIE authority to increase expenditure? I have asked you, you are in April, the first quarter of the year has gone. You have not passed your what? Annual budget. Within the last 2 months of the year, you will award contracts that is not verifiable. As at the moment we are talking about fighting corruption, do you have a Council for Fiscal Responsibility Act or public procurement processes? These are the issues where the 21st century, like I have said, we've gone beyond these issues of whistleblowing as at the level where we are and the way our strategy to it.
Have we gone beyond it? Have we really gone beyond it?
Where we are at the moment, if this volume of money comes and you have no person accounting for it, it shows you have no accounting system. The billions will move on into Europe or America before they will be caught. And mind you, there are still evidence. So the basic, I have asked repeatedly, what level of intellectual capacity do you have in ICPC and EFCC? So that we will be able to do what you expect now as what? Clinical auditing or forensic auditing or accounting system. Have you gone to go through from the local government to the federal setting? If you see the parlous state of affairs of the Auditor General's office everywhere in Nigeria, this is your supreme audit. You don't have it. And I have said the public accounting system, do you have any cost benefits of what we are doing? Somebody awards contract. We've just gone back to Abuja Airport. The next one, another airport will come up. And repeatedly, I have always said, Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, look at the Onitsha head bridge issue. Can't we meet up on our own, take care of this? There's no transparency. And like I say, capable, reliable, and transparent institutions. Nobody is transparent in Nigeria. And that's what we have brought us to this. So, in every issue, we have done what? We have undermined public policy and administration. When
we put this to government officials, when we say, oh, it doesn't look like there is a system, I mean, yes, you can try and get all the monies out there in public, monies that have been stolen, but then ensuring that, you know, the administrative checks are put in place in such a way that corruption itself is prevented. Well, they say that they're putting systems in place. They cite the TSA. You think that that was that's one step in the right direction?
Well, every step of life that is worth living is always open to review. I expected after 6 months or 1 year, even the civil societies, to show a difference between the former regime and TSA. Have we shown any difference in it? So these are basic issues. An unexamined life is not worth living.
I'm sorry, the difference between
the TSA regime and what was done before it came.
Okay.
If you show me that, then we know that we are moving in the right direction. It's not when you have bottled up the sin. Like I said, you have fiscal responsibility. There's no fiscal responsibility council.
So we can't take it for granted.
From 2007, the only time we forced Jonathan's administration to do that, immediately those set of commissioners left. They were not renewed because we know what we are doing. Look at Public Procurement Act. Do you have a council for it? So who do you take to? And all these issues of EFCC, and how many cases has EFCC concluded? And do you know the total of public funds that is involved in all this prosecution and the rest of them? So these are the issues. And this is where I hold the universities and all of them. We are in recession. ASU has not even done a seminar. Tomorrow they will not call for strike because they have private universities where they are teaching. And you are looking for corruption. Who last sent 100 and something universities without even basic electricity? Today they are manufacturing 100 first class in every graduation. And they have no light. And when you look at your products, they are an embarrassment to every person, including the parents. So these are the basic issues. So far as the institutions are not put in place.
Mr. Anyaegbunam, we're going to ask you to hold your thoughts for us. You continue on them when we return from this break. Well, Mr. Emmanuel Anyaegbunam is still with us in the studio. You were saying that we have approached this fight on corruption the wrong manner. So what recommendations would you be proffering?
Basically, in 21st century, run on research. There should be systematic approach to these issues on collective basis. And then the key areas, both the informal sector, like I keep calling on a civil society group, should be able to come up. And we have a very big problem. Political parties have failed. PDP is dead. APC is a positive check that has bounced. Even PDP cannot constitute itself into an opposition to face. You've seen a lot of defection and the rest. There's no difference. There's no ideology. There's no policy. And we cannot even engage the schools. We are producing 90% of arts and social sciences. There are no key basic areas that will be able to drive us to the promised land. So if we invest on research and then be able to have basic indices, now how do you move funds when you vote funds? Can you track any of them? It has shown that the public sector has failed. Public accounting has failed abysmally. Central bank cannot even control the forex movement and the standard. And since you have no stable foreign exchange policy, then you are in trouble. And that's where we are at the moment. So basically, we should go back to the drawing board and then now give technocrats the opportunity to run public administration. It is not a job for politicians or for the boys. So these are the basic issues, and then the basic institutions. It's only in executive that you have power invested on the president or the governor. In the institution, National Assembly and the courts took over judicial area. So we should be able at the moment to oversight the executive and then call for intellectual engagement. Let's have debate. This attraction to entertainment has killed us. So I am still shouting that let's have debates, both from primary to secondary school, and then engage basic and proactive research, and then benchmark. It is not only in Nigeria that you eat money, but the basic issue is that in Nigeria, the best is always impossible, but the worst will never happen. This is what we have taken. So we should be able to take the basic cue of accountability. I am not against the war against corruption, but what I am against is the strategy, which has not worked, and people are now making fat out of public expense over it.
Mr. Anyaegbunam, I have to say thank you so much for coming on Sunrise Daily. He is a legal practitioner and also a political and legislative historian.